hop in.
Cool.
DK, what's going on, baby? Welcome home, man.
Mr. Mateo Aguas.
Marty Waters, thank you, brother.
Marty Waters.
Dude.
Thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah, it makes for a good occasion. Like, once I saw your home, I was like, this might be a brief period of time. How long you back for?
I'm back, baby.
Okay, cool. So it's up until we find out when the next run is kind of a thing. And
Yeah. At least through the end of the year.
yeah. And what's your plan now that you're home? What are the things where it's like, as a world traveler who has his passport stamped and tramped, you come home, you do some Cincinnati shit. Have you done anything classic?
Dude, I think I ate Skyline chili.
Gross.
I mean, probably 6 days in a row.
Stop.
Yeah.
The moment that I assumed that you were going to say days in a row, it just made my stomach curl, dude. I'm cool with it like once every 2 weeks, but like I can't go double dip. Do you vary it up, or have you been like, I'm going to smash 5 dogs every time, get my tolerance back up?
My go-to order is a Cholito and a Coney. But
Do you dress the Cholito at all?
Yeah, spaghetti,
Okay.
onion, sour cream.
Dude, I started doing mustard in my Cholito, and it's a game changer. A little bit of beans as well.
Oh.
I always describe that as a water balloon of chili. Because
That's
that first bite
very
is a
accurate.
risky. Like I'm gonna fuck my day up really bad right there.
Yeah. You don't want anyone in the splash zone. Let's
Dude,
put it that
straight
way.
up. I also saw a thing the other day where Gold Star was trying to say that they're the originators of the chili, and I was like, this is the weirdest campaign. Like, even if you're right, no one gives a shit, dude.
That's bold.
You're out, you know?
Desperate.
You lost Paycor, you know? If the Bengals aren't eating the Conies, no one is, dude.
Yeah.
Were you home for Thanksgiving?
I was, yeah.
Dude, that's got to be ripping to come back and see everybody all at once.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, both sides of the family throw down?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my sister, we did a Thanksgiving 2.0
Nice.
on Friday after, so that's another thing. I've been eating Thanksgiving leftovers for a week straight, man. I'm done with turkey.
Dude, straight up.
Until next year.
You got to get so creative with how you start eating at the end because you're like, I've been here before, but I haven't. New frontier, you know what I'm saying? My mechanic geeked me out. He was like, how was your Thanksgiving? I was like, food was good enough that I didn't fuck my life up. How was yours? And he goes, dude, I fucked my life up. I double plated at the first place I went, and then I went to another place where they call me the mashed potato monster, and I really tried to throw down.
Dang.
He's like, dude, I almost yacked, and then I ate a cannoli, and then I knew I was going to yak. I was like, who eats a cannoli at the end of a Thanksgiving meal after really doing it up like that?
Yeah, that's just real damn, you know?
Okay, so I kind of want to start at the beginning with you because I feel like in the last year I've learned a little bit more about you by watching your father play. So, has your dad always been a bass player, or was that the first instrument you ever thought about getting on?
My dad actually started on guitar for a very brief period, and his older brother Jim Dews, he also played guitar, and so there are 3 brothers, Rick, Greg, and Jim. Jim was a guitar player through and through. Greg was a drummer, so he got forced into the
Some
bass.
Wooten Brothers shit where they're just like, dude, we're just filling it at this point. You're going to play French horn, get that fist together. You know what I'm saying?
So I think he started playing bass when he was like 5.
No shit?
Yeah.
Dude, that's ignorant. How old were you?
So I actually started on drums. They got me my first drum set when I was 8, and I didn't pick up bass until like 10 years later.
Was there a reason that you made this monumental switch?
Yeah, all my friends were better drummers than me.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. To be in the squad of drummers, did you do like the marching band thing?
I did, yeah.
Okay, what was that like?
It was pretty grueling. It was a lot of fun though. I mean,
Yeah.
we had our little squad,
Yeah.
and we got into some mischief. Junior year, got caught smoking weed before marching band. That was a suspension right there.
Why would you not get a little baked for marching band? Let's be honest. Like, I'm going to walk in a straight line for the next hour and a half just giving them paradiddles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be deep in the truth, man.
Yeah. No, yeah, we were just dumb teenagers.
Yeah.
Trying to.
You ever sit down and play on a kid anymore?
I bought myself a little electric kit just to scratch that itch.
Yeah.
But I'm embarrassed to say how little I play it these days.
Didn't you play with your dad in like Amsterdam when he came out to see you?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of this. Are you gonna bold-faced lie to me? God damn it!
Well,
DK.
okay, yeah, that was a one-off.
It was a one-off. It was a pretty important one-off. You know?
Yeah, that was.
Like I got electronics set in the basement, but we don't have any outlets down there, so it's not plugged in. But you just played in front of how many people out there on a kit? Just one song?
No, the whole set. Yeah. Yeah.
You're holding back on me, bro.
I am. I kind of forgot about that. Which, dude, yeah, my brain is mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long have you been on the road this year?
We just got off. We did like 85 days in total.
Okay.
The spring tour was like a lot more broken up. But that 85, I don't know. I might have made that number up. I think it was 77 straight.
Okay.
Started in London, and then we did Germany and Norway, and then another one in England, and then it was Amsterdam. So my parents flew in. They were gonna be there anyway.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, so they're just coming to watch the show.
Yeah.
And then like a month beforehand, Nolan calls me. He's like, "Hey man, do you want to play drums in Amsterdam?" And I'm like, "Sure."
If that's what you want me to do, I guess.
Yeah. So it's expensive to fly musicians over there, and we hired a guy from London to play guitar, and so he came to Amsterdam as well. But Nolan was gonna hire a drummer because, contractually we had to have a full band.
Yeah.
And Johnny, the guy from London, guitar player, his drummer, I guess, heard the music and he's like, "Man, that's not really my style." So Nolan was like, "Nope."
Yeah. If you don't love it off the rip, then you're probably not gonna do well at this show.
Yeah. So he was kind of in a pinch, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, dude. I'll play drums." And he goes, "Well, would your dad want to play bass?" I'm like, "Let me ask him," but it'd be hard to say no.
Dude, absolutely. Well, and also, like, your dad is like a thumping and plucking kind of player, like a straight grooving kind of guy. Was it weird for him to go on such a mellow set, or was that like such a breath of fresh air for him?
He still played that way.
Okay.
Yeah. But it worked.
Was it weird to hear your dad playing your parts and just looking over and being like, "That's not what I wrote, baby. That's not what's on the record," you know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole set, I mean, we're locked.
Yeah.
Because we didn't rehearse at all.
Stop.
I mean, we sat down in a hotel room, and like Nolan would play through songs, and my dad would just like play along, and we would like work out structures and stuff like that. But that was the first time we'd ever played.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting pillows in the hotel room.
Dude, so are you kind of like the only like mainstay member of the band, and everyone else kind of hired guns in certain situations?
No.
Okay.
In Europe, I was, I guess.
Gotcha.
Just because, yeah, I really wanted to go.
Yeah. I mean, if it works out logistically, like, why wouldn't you make that trip? Like,
Yeah.
How long you been playing in bands?
Since 7th grade.
Okay. And is that when you switched to bass, or had you been playing drums in those bands and then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first band I was ever in was called Verbatim, and we were a cover band. We played at like Shooters over in Loveland. And,
Gang, that's what I'm talking about.
And I actually wasn't the original drummer. My other friend, who was a huge reason that I switched, I think they got in some trouble together. They were off smoking weed or something, so they weren't allowed to hang out anymore.
Stop. Stop. The parents broke the band up.
They did.
They're bad influences.
And I'm kind of happy about it now. I'm still super close with all those guys, but yeah, we played around town, and then I was in a band called Munchlax.
Dude, great name. Munchlax?
Yeah.
Banging.
We played at the Underground over in like Coleraine.
Underground was a great club.
Yeah.
It was an odd vibe, like church camp vibes, but like a nice
Totally.
room. They had a green room. Like that was a big moment for a lot of us at that point in time.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And
that
they made
PS2
us,
spot in the back.
yeah. And every single time we played there, people running the place. Yeah, so 21 Pilots got their start here, and like that was their claim to fame.
Dude, 100%. 21 Pilots, Walk the Moon. Did you ever see Public? Do you remember them?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, the Westchester dudes. Matt, that bass player, I've never seen a dude do a one-handed cartwheel while just holding a note. I was just fucked up about that in the head. I think he broke his ankle doing that, but still sick.
Yeah.
So, Munchlax, are you on bass by that point?
Actually, yes.
Okay, cool.
Whoa, I forgot about that.
We got to go through it all, man. I got to know.
Yeah. I was playing, that was actually the first time I'd ever played bass in front of anyone, or really like at all. And it's funny, I still have a picture that a good family friend of ours, she did a whole like painting. So now there's a painting of me playing bass for the first time ever.
Stop.
On stage, yeah.
What a weird moment of arrival that someone would be like, I can document this a little bit better.
And it was not supposed to be that at all. It was just, she liked the colors in the picture.
Why did you feel, so it was just like the band needed bass and you were the second best drummer, so you weren't going to get that slot, might as well pivot?
Yeah, pretty much.
How long until you started to love that instrument over your primary?
That's a good question. I still I don't know. I guess
Still miss it?
I miss drums, but I don't miss like carrying all of it. Dude, I love nothing more than like walking in with my bass on my back. I got, the Gator gig case, and then I got my combo Fender Rumble 800 watt. That's all I need.
Dude.
Never
been a pedals guy?
I try. It's just hard to find like the appropriate context.
Yeah.
Especially what I've been doing lately is just like I try to like strip it as far back as I possibly can.
I think that's really inspiring for a lot of players to be like, here's this guy that has jumped into an echelons of gigging that a lot of people want to get to. And he's like, I don't want to carry anything else, man. I'm telling you, just to get the lightest amp possible, a gig bag, no hard shell case. Fuck that,
Yeah. Yeah, I brought a hard shell to Europe. That was honestly a mistake at this point. Dude, I lugged that thing. Oh my goodness.
It's got to have the backpack straps.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
Yeah. But I will say, like, my freshman year of college is when I really, like, fell in love. Like, when everyone else is out partying and all that, I'm sitting in my dorm room just learning songs. And I was playing with Watch Frogs at the time. And that was, like, what made me good.
Yeah.
Because, we're playing the 4-hour, slots downtown and, having to learn, like, massive catalogs of songs. So I'd just be sitting in my room, like, learning because I had to, but also because I really wanted to.
Yeah. I think that really nails it. It's like sometimes the necessity of the thing, it will drive you a little bit crazy, but you'll start to find the little, like, things that make you feel like you really arrived on your instrument. Like,
yeah,
you're going to do a 4-hour set, but maybe 5 of those songs really start to feel like your own melodic interest. So does Watch Frogs then turn into Funnies, or how long is that gap?
Let's see. I started with Watch Frogs in 2015, and then I started with the Funnies. 16.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was playing with both. At
No
the same
way.
Time, yeah.
The Funnies is such like it's such an important band for me as a listener. Like that catalog really meant the world to me and my college friends. And there's things about what you're doing melodically in that band where I don't want to say it's such a guitar centric group that you're almost fitting between the certain chugging elements of it. It's like you're not doing the typical bass rolls. You're writing these lines that are singable in a lot of places, you know? Did you feel like there was anything from the Watch Frogs set that kind of built your voice that you would use in the Funnies?
I don't think there is like much of a choice that I have in that, if that makes sense. I feel like it's just what it's, and that's why I like listening back and because it sounds like me, and I couldn't change that if I tried. Not to sound like pretentious.
No, I think that's the right thing is it's involuntary. It's a lifetime of listening and playing your instrument, and what comes out is what comes out, The greatest thing is to have a thumbprint and then to learn how to be light or heavy-handed with your thumbprint when you want to, but you can never get it completely off of there. It has that little inklings of you.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen back to that, are there any isms that really feel like they're part of your playing rather than just your playing in that band?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And they drive me crazy.
Really? Like what?
Gosh. I mean, just like certain little licks or little lines or like placement of, little fills and things like that. I'm just like, gosh. It almost becomes like, especially like on the road, we're playing every single night. And like, it's almost like I hate to throw something in there because I got bored, that didn't need to be there. But it's just like, oh, well, I'm playing this note for way too long. I'm going to throw a little lick in because I want to break up the monotony, even though the song didn't really call for that.
That's such a hard place to get to as a musician rather than just a player on the instrument. Do you ever feel like because you made the switch from drums to bass that you're listening for those kind of cues and trying to ignore that impulse more?
Definitely. Yeah, and especially when you have a good drummer, you just lock in so tight and a good guitar player too. When you have a good band,
Yeah.
You just move the energy and it becomes so involuntary and you just sort of ride this wave together. And like, if you do something cool one night, you start to like create these moments without having to like sit down and like work through them or talk about them. They just happen.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just feel it and it keeps happening. And then it becomes this really dynamic experience.
Well said. I always love where the arrangement starts to kind of live its own life in the set because of happy low accents. Little Bob Ross is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I really like when you have time to play the songs out before you go in the studio. Like, so much of the old way would be we go record the album, then we go out and play the album, promote that. And it's like, well, why is the impulse of a 3-minute decision going to affect the way we play this for the indefinite amount of time in the future if people love it, versus spending 75 days playing it in a row. And then if you look back at the original recordings of it and you look at now, it's like, no, 2.5 minutes of this have completely changed. The intro's the same, the outro's the same. Everything else is flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any songs from the Nolan shows that have really made that transformation in front of you?
Absolutely. Excuse me. Almost all of them.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Just all the new album stuff?
yeah, and there's some like he has demos that he recorded a long time ago and we'll play them live and he's been like, yeah, I like our live version way better than this demo. There's a song called I've Always Loved You. Don't come after me for that. And yeah, the live version is astronomically different. Energy wise, feel, I mean, it's just different.
Yeah.
They're both good, but it's just a product of the personnel,
Yeah.
really.
Well, I think when you have a group of musicians that are really serving the song, you start to hear back from the song in a lot of ways. And like listeners can influence that, environments can influence that. But I really like to think like you said, like, if the song's not calling for it, I'm not going to do it. But sometimes it compels all of us to do these things, and it starts to kind of show its own face versus you trying to fit it in a box, you know? Are you going to play on the album, or is the album already done, and then we have the live versions of it?
I think he said he was supposed to fly out to LA like this week to record. I don't know what he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I'm not going to be on the studio album.
Gotcha.
I think with like major label people, they're kind of like weird about credits and stuff like that.
Yeah, they stay in their own camps, and they like to have a very clean payroll line and things like that. And that makes sense for their business model.
It does. And you work with certain producers, and they have their people.
Mm-hmm.
They got their people on speed dial. Like, oh, you need, some twang? Let me call Homeboy. Oh, you need some crunch? Let me call Homeboy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I won't be on that, but I'm hoping we do, like, some kind of live album or live session or whatever.
Yeah. Do you feel like You know, that's so different from other bands in the past, and this whole experience has probably been so different. Have you enjoyed this sense of privacy of just like you get home and you're back just to being yourself? You're not part of the band. You're a human being that can go do your own thing while that stuff's working in the background?
It's kind of bizarre. This is like something I never expected. But it's like this weird phenomenon where you come home and you think you would just like be able to relax for a long time because you're just so used to bang, 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 bang. And I've been going absolutely stir crazy. I've been home for a week and I'm like, oh, what am I doing with my life? What's next? What am I, you know? And so I just can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah. I think that's, it's like a fight or flight thing when you're moving that quick. Like, you're always prepared for what's next because you never know what's going to happen next. And coming back and having these moments to kind of sit with yourself and having no, day schedule sent out and you don't know when sound check is or load in or things like that. There is like a mania that comes along with that and learn to accept just being for a little bit,
Yeah, it's hard to slow down. But I've been trying. I've been playing every day just because I like to, you know?
Just staying fresh with it.
Yeah, and been trying to read more. That helps me slow down.
Yeah, what are you reading?
I'm reading Hell's Angels.
No shit. Okay, what is that?
It's, what's the guy's name? He did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Oh,
Hunter?
gosh. Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yes,
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah, and he's just like documenting the motorcycle gang out in California. And
Sounds badass. You thinking about getting a hog?
dude, I got to do something with myself.
Risk it all on two wheels, baby.
Yeah, I used to be a motorcycler. For
Motorcycle. Both not it, but like.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I sold them though.
How long did you have this? You're a young man. I mean,
Yeah. Shoot, maybe like a year and a half. It was a phase, for sure.
I got a buddy, his name's Zach. He plays in a couple of projects around town. I'm forgetting his main band's name, but he's bought a new BMW motorcycle, and he rebuilt his pedal board so that it could fit in the saddlebag.
Oh, nice.
And he just puts his guitar on his back and takes it to the highway. He goes, dude, it's just like, it's like having a really shitty parachute on your back. It's just always lifting you off of there. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of the wrong call, dude.
Yeah, and he's got to have the leather and the aviators. I mean, that's a bad dude coming down the road.
It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. So, when did the funnies end? At least on paper. I hope the funnies never ends, truth be told, but,
On paper, I don't know. That's a tough question. But
maybe like a year after Softpack?
I'd say COVID
Okay.
killed it.
Yeah.
At least for me. And it was not an easy choice for me to leave. And it wasn't about the band at all. I had nothing to do with that. That was just like a sacrifice that I had to make in my life. But they kept playing. You know, they had Skylar and another bass player in there somewhere. And I'd fly back for shows. We did Olmsted one year I flew back for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough to step away from music, honestly.
Especially when it's people you love like that. It's like bands become family very quick, and it's not because of the good times. It's because of the bad times and the way that people kind of reflect that. Like, it gets very sibling-like at times, and the peeves that come along with that. So where'd you move out to again?
Phoenix.
And that was for a job of some sort?
It was for nothing.
Dude.
Okay, so my best friend, he lives out there, and they were in a house, and they needed a fourth roommate. And I mean, rent was like $450 a month. It's a sweet place. They had a pool in the back, palm trees, orange tree right there. And
how many oranges do you think you actually ate? Tell me the truth.
A lot.
Okay, all right.
I mean, when we first got there, the tree was plump. I mean, it was so It was bountiful.
That seems like one of those things that like someone would sell you on like moving into a house for, and then you never actually eat one of the oranges. I'm glad that you had your fill.
They were so good at first. I don't know what happened, but
they went sour.
I don't know if we didn't take care of it or what, but man,
You guys spilled too many Millers on it and pissed on it, and now the tree's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, something happened. But yeah, you know, I was going through a tough time. I think a lot of us were. I felt suffocated, and I moved out there in August of 2020.
Wow.
So yeah, it was another product of that like stir craziness. I felt like I needed to challenge myself, and I needed to jump off the cliff. You know, when I got to Phoenix, I had $8 in my bank account. Yeah, it was so stupid.
That's so epic, man.
But you know, when I got there, you know, my friends they wanted me there, and they helped me with rent and things for a little bit, and all that got paid back because I just, you know, had to go out on my own and learn how to work really hard for myself and see what I could do, see what I was capable of. And I worked some odd jobs here and there to make ends meet, and then, you know, I ended up doing really well out there. But
it's such an important thing for everybody's life to put yourself in a situation where like you are all that you have. It is you and your potential, and understanding all the applications of that, not just odd jobs, but in terms of personnel. Like, you know, I think Cincinnati has a tendency to drive people away and then bring them back at some point in time. It's that Midwest appeal.
Totally.
But if you never ask that of yourself, it's hard to imagine what your true capacity is. Mm-hmm. And desperation fuels so much greatness in all of us that if you never tap into it, you will be wondering about it on your deathbed. You know?
Yeah. And I can't stand to live without a stone turned, you know, in a weird way that I just phrase that. But, you know, I feel like I need to experience everything that I possibly can. Yeah. Like almost to a fault where, you know, I tend to abandon ship sometimes because I'm like, oh, that new shiny thing over there looks cool. I quit my engineering job, like, to go on the road with Nolan because I couldn't live with myself thinking about what that would have been like. And, you know, people have asked me, oh, how hard was that choice? I'm like, it wasn't a choice. It was, how do I make this make sense? Yeah. It doesn't really still, but but here I am in front of you, so.
Well, you say yes to life, you know? And some people don't. Some people are paralyzed by opportunities and what they lose in that versus having the world to gain. Like, it's got to be weird to arrive home and to go to Thanksgiving and to show up for the holidays almost like nothing's changed. And in a certain regard, nothing has changed, but the view in the rear view is spectacularly weird. I mean, what you've gone through over this last year, and you know, saying yes to that kind of opportunity. Like, what was the most surreal show of the whole run?
I have a top two. Amsterdam was just nuts.
Just mean mugging your dad.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and to be able to provide that type of experience for my parents means everything to me. You know, they excuse me, they've worked so hard for me to have the opportunities that I've had. So, you know, to be able to live in Phoenix and, you know, make it for myself, you know, found my way, and then for them to like fly out there and visit me and give them an experience that they never would have had otherwise. I was in Portland for 2 years. Same thing. They flew out and, you know, I just showed them things they never would have seen. And Amsterdam was definitely one of those. Yeah. You know, my dad said to me afterwards, he's like, you know, this would have been on my bucket list had I ever been able to dream this up. And I'm like, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, I looked at him on stage before, as we were setting up. I'm like, who let us do this? And he's like, I don't know, man.
Dude, that's
So
That's beautiful. That's really heavy. Your dad saying like, if I could even dream this up, it'd be an unbelievable, especially between musicians. Like we're at a special age. So you're 28, I'm 29. If your parents are healthy and around and did the hard work to put you where you're at and you're in a good enough place, now is the most important time to treat them like people that you have chosen, not parents you were endowed with or blessings that you can, forget about and come back to. It's like, while you're both healthy and you're both just adults figuring it out in this world, to now be on this plane of providing an experience for him, but also just to be players again. Like, as much as you may not be thinking about it, I'm sure when he looks over, he can see his son in a basement on a drum set and then think about how heavy that is. And you can look at him and say, you're playing my fucking parts wrong, Dad. Like, dude, that's sick. That's the coolest thing you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And what a great aspiration for every young person to provide an opportunity for their parents to be people they choose to share life with rather than just their folks.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other show?
Bogarts.
No shit. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
That was, and we played there, we played there with the Funnies. It wasn't the venue that was so special. It felt like, and that was at the very end of the spring tour, and it was like just such a homecoming, man. After being out in all these strange places, meeting all these strange people, it felt like a little bit of like show and tell. I came home and it's like, look at what I've been doing. And I mean, to have the support system that was there was just, I can't even put it into words, man.
Yeah, just to see that room busting at the seams and for everything to be so unfamiliar until that is eerily familiar in some ways. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it was special. That was like the show I was the most nervous for.
No shit.
Yeah.
How many shows into the run was that? You can approximate.
Probably like 25.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But were the shows just nails, but for some reason this one gives you that butterflies.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
And it was the first one. I was nervous for the first one. That was the biggest crowd I'd ever played for. Probably like 4,000.
Where was it?
Portland, Maine.
No
I think
shit.
It was State Theater, I think it was called. We were open for a guy named Charles Wesley Godwin, and I remember getting on stage out loud to myself saying, "Don't freak out, don't panic, don't you dare."
Seeing a dude say to himself, "Don't freak out," and then looking at an audience. As someone in the front row, I went, "This dude's tweaking.
Yeah.
This may not be great.
This show's about to suck."
Are you singing much during this set?
I started singing in Amsterdam, actually.
No shit.
Yeah.
On kit.
Yeah.
Just popping cherries all over the place, dude.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm so much more comfortable on drums. Like, I don't know why. People would say, "Oh, I would have thought it would have been the other way around," and maybe it is for some people, but drums, I think, are just so automatic. I just don't have to think about it at all. Well, I guess that's not true. I definitely have to think about it. But I don't know why. Maybe I'm just used to singing and playing drums more. Just from my past. But I sang harmonies, and then after that, Nolan was like, "No, you're not allowed to not sing harmonies anymore." And really, it was Johnny, the London guy. He's like, giving me such a hard time for not singing. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll sing.
Does Johnny sing as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're doing the third part, and it's just rich like that.
Yeah.
Have you always been the third harmony kind of guy, or did you sing lead in Watch Frogs, or?
No, I never sang lead in Watch Frogs.
Okay.
I had a band. But anyway, since
No, you got to go on that bit. You had a band that.
Since Amsterdam, I've sang at every show, and it's so much fun. Like I can't believe I didn't step out of that shell earlier.
There's an involvement that, I think, one, when you see all the band members singing, it gives you more permission to sing along, but the full body involvement, especially as a bass player that's feeling everything, now the shoulders up are getting it too. It's like, that's euphoric, man.
Yeah. So I had a band called DK Dues and Crew that I was kind of coerced into. out at OU, my buddy Michael, he would throw house shows all the time, and he did a big like festival type thing. It's called Holidays, DAZE.
Sounds foggy.
It was very foggy. And we just were like, you know, all these people, all our friends were in bands, and they were all on the lineup, and there were so many bands. But for some reason, it was actually Ryan Mangan, I think, was the one who was like, you need to do your own band.
I love Ryan, dude.
I do too. I just saw him the other day. He was in town.
Dude, I got to see him when I was in Buffalo. We hung out for a little bit. How long is he in town?
A couple days, I think.
Okay.
What's up, Ryan?
I'm going to call that man.
Thanks for creating DK Dues and Crew.
Squad.
And no, we did that show, and it was with, I mean, the most talented musicians I knew. You know, Drew Lowry on guitar. I played bass and sang lead. Ryan Mangan.
It's a lot to ask of, man.
Yeah. Tommy Culley on keys, who also plays keys with Nolan. And then a cat named Caleb Lee on drums. I mean, the baddest. And it was fun. That was like an interesting little put myself outside of my comfort zone situation. And we did a couple shows. We played down on Broadway in Nashville a couple times.
No shit?
Yeah.
Why? Just booked a gig on Broadway? Just did a 4 hour straight?
It was always, you know, all those people I mentioned in that band were in other bands that we were were also on the lineup, like real bands.
Yeah.
And so they were like, DK, come down. Let's throw a third band on the lineup, and they were already there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just I would open the show and it was that kind of thing.
If you got asked to sing lead on a tune right now, what's the tune you're calling?
Any tune?
Yeah.
My go-to karaoke song is Dancing Queen.
Could you play that on bass and sing it?
I don't think so.
No. DK Dudes and the Crew. Like, what's that song that you're pulling?
Okay. Oh, what do we do? There's a song called I Must Be in a Good Place Now, I think is what it's called, by Bobby Charles. It's a beautiful song.
I'll have to check that out.
It's pretty slow. I did Waiting on the World to Change. We did Waves by Kanye West.
Gang, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was just a fun one. A couple originals.
Stuff that you wrote?
Yeah, me and Drew.
Okay. Is there any inkling to get back to that now that you're home?
I guess. If I don't know.
That's a bitch answer, my
it
friend.
is,
No,
it
no,
is.
come on. Where you at? You been holding on to lyrics, DK?
No.
Really? Not at all?
I mean, I've got some voice memos.
Okay.
And actually, I was just talking to Jimmy yesterday, and he was saying he wants me to come over and to write, and I'm begging him. So for him to be like, yeah, dude, come over, and I'm like, yeah, please. I sent him like half a song that finally made it kind of out of the voice memo to his email.
Good.
And
you emailed Jimmy Klepper? How dare you? He's not gonna check that. How many times?
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just much more of a collaborative person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more fun. You know, I don't thoroughly enjoy sitting down, and I guess that's not true. I do enjoy writing. I think it's just that, you know, I don't think I'm good at it, which is another bitch answer. But
No, I do. You know, as much as I rag on you for it, it's like it's in the mind, and there's something about giving yourself permission, regardless where you come from on the bandstand. There's ideas that are inklings for other people to go make something of, and those are spectacular. You know, you're an instrumentalist. You bring arrangements to the table, and that stuff's important. But then I think the call in my mind always comes from guys like Prince and Paul, where your uninterrupted inspiration needs to completely come through this thing for us to understand your voice in that way. You know, there's all these isms that you can say, from funnies to Nolan to Watch Frogs to leading this band. All these isms that never fully align until you say, I'm more than capable to play bass and drums and sing on this track. I just need a guitar player to come fill this in. And now we got an AI that's pretty good at that shit too, so you can probably just go that route.
Yeah, and honestly, you're such an inspiration in that regard of just somebody who goes and gets it.
Thanks, brother.
You know, you could do this all on your own. You know, it's really cool, and I strive to be that person. But you know, and I know I have good ideas that I like. You know, if nobody listens to it, at least I can. But I feel like I put too much on the, oh, well, I need somebody else to help me, or I need somebody else's opinion or expertise on something that I don't necessarily have, which is just, yeah, like you said, it's a mental thing I got to get over.
Yeah, well, all things with time, you know, like that's the great thing about like trusting whatever comes in life, like saying yes to that opportunity. You know, you talk about this stir craziness, like what a great mania to bring about that inspiration. You know, you're going to go sit down with Jimmy, you're probably going to kick some ideas to Nolan, but there might be some things where no one else answers the call, you know, and to everybody that's listening, to the 4 of you that give enough a shit on YouTube, it's like, if you are woken up in the middle of the night with an idea, just know that no one else is going to pull that out of the back of your brainstem except for you. Like yesterday, I was supposed to have a collab on this song I'm working on that I try to go back and forth. I solo produce something. I produce something with a team of people. I solo produce so I can get closer to understanding my isms and then saying like, well, I'd like to delegate this part because I know my proficiency is going to be low. But I got to take the L's now. You know, life is about enjoying those L's and making some progress from it. So you are you're sitting at the cliff again, and there will be a jumping point, and we're all excited to see that. What's it been like to come from this group of musicians and songwriters that you kind of got to know during the funniest time that have now kind of ventured off into doing their own thing? Like, especially watching Jimmy from afar. What's that been like?
Oh God, I love that man so much. He is frustratingly humble.
Well put.
He is so talented. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How talented that man is. I'm so proud of him for continuing to write beautiful songs. But that's the thing about Jimmy, he couldn't not do it. You know, it's just in his DNA.
Yeah.
He can't not be a beast and bear his soul in the most beautiful, melodic. I mean, he's just a special person.
Yeah. Well, he's got these songs that I always think when you're doing it right, like you're letting the song kind of live its own life, pop into your world, do its thing. But then when it falls in the lap of listeners that don't do that, you say things that they can never say to themselves. And those things are beautiful and painful and fucking like invasive at times. Like sometimes you hear a lyric and it's so hauntingly true for you that you keep going back and you try to figure it out, and then you realize like it was meant for you in that way, you know, like not in the way that the artist did this for you, but call it God, call it the muse, call it whatever you want. The sense of arrival is thought through. You're supposed to do that, you know, and in the way that you've always served these songs, there's always a song in this band that just hits a little more home. Or even just asking like the song that you would sing, like what was the first track that you mentioned, the Bobby
Charles.
It's like there's probably something in that where it's like, boy, did I need this right now, even if it's a slow track or it's just the right lyric. And Jimmy has so many of those. Jimmy is one of these guys that only he could say it to me so straight and for me to be like, thank you. Because every other time I'd see it in my life like that, it would bother me, you know? And I really, of all the people that are sitting there at the glass ceiling, like Jimmy's the one where I'm like, let's get the ice picks and go right through this bitch because the world needs Jimmy Clipper.
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy needs the world in that way. It's he's answered the call for so long. It'd be nice to find out who all has been listening to it, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I feel so honored to even have a part in it at all, that he trusts me to help him deliver that. And same goes with Nolan, you know? Those dudes, the number of times I've, you know, they've sent me something, and I was sitting on the edge of my bed, listening so intently, and just, you know, for a grown man to make you cry, that's like, you know, that's special.
For your homie to do it too, for
Right.
someone that like you like, we'll go get banged up on the lake at some point, and like I would never tell you that I think you write really meaningful music, but then you send me something like that in the privacy of my own room. It's like it's jaw dropping. With Nolan, it's especially spectacular to watch the way that one song can push you into this next chapter of your life, and then you find out your capacity. You know, like in the same way that the move to Phoenix meant so much to you, it's like this wasn't something he chose to happen in the way that it did, but it was the ultimate like call up to the front and say like, what else you got? You know, like there's something crazy about that moment, and for you to be ready is everything. And it seems like he was ready, you know?
Yeah.
Is it weird to watch a friend go through this monumental change when you do have that same privacy of being like a little bit in the background? You know, you can leave at the end of the tour versus he's gonna get on a plane and go do this again. Like,
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, you know, and I put myself in his shoes, and understanding that like this is his life and his livelihood, and you know I respect that so much, and so you know when he's out at the merch table, you know, signing things and taking pictures with everybody, it's like, you know, he wants us out there too, but it definitely feels weird because, you know, he's the one putting up all this, everything. You know, it's his name on the marquee. It's his soul that he's bearing to all these fans every night. And it's been interesting trying to find like what that place is for the band. And it's kind of a fine line, I guess.
for sure.
Because you want to be involved, and like we are Nolan's band, and you know I'm always out bopping around trying to, you know, socialize and network and things like that. But at the same time, you definitely have to respect that everything that he's putting up and everything that he has to lose.
Yeah. Well, you're no longer person and songwriter, you're product and package, you know, and everybody's trying to buy a little bit of that, you know, in all the different ways, whether it's they love the song and they want the merch, they want to meet you personally and all these kind of things. And you're like the inklings of humanity on the outside of that. We're not trying to buy the product or the package. You're trying to hang out with the person that's a songwriter, you know, and giving a lovable amount of shit and being a friend that's honest enough to say, like, this new one does it for me. As much as we played these other ones 1,000 times, this new one does it for me too, you know? Like, and it's important that someone cares enough to walk that fine line, you know? Like, above your musicianship, you know, the reason that you're getting that call is because you are the person that's making, you know, a front man and a songwriter feel at home in these very foreign moments in foreign places.
Yeah, and it's more than just us getting up there and playing through the songs too, and that's what I think makes that live show so special. And he can do it alone, and he does it alone all the time. And you know, even halfway through our set, he'll do a little solo section, and people love that. But to then be able to come out and take these songs and just blow them, you know, to come out and just blow these people's faces off with this massive wall of sound that I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
Because we worked hard for it, is special. And also to give people a new show every night. Like Nolan, he's got this thing that if somebody requests a song by him, he will absolutely do it every single time. He's just wants to give the people what they want, which is commendable, but it makes it sometimes a little scary because
know the whole catalog inside and out.
Know the whole thing, and you know we played like 60 something shows this year, and you'd be hard pressed to find two sets exactly the same. Even we'll make a set list every night. I don't think we've played the set list as it was written one time. I really don't think so.
That is stressful,
Yeah.
especially as the guy where it's like, he can hit a sour chord every once in a while. You know, he can flub one. If you flub one, the subs will tell everybody that that's the dude that fucked up. You know,
Yep.
it's like wearing a ski mask when a burglary goes down and everyone else is just hanging out. It's like, no, that's the fucking guy. You know.
There it is.
And now we had the harmonies, and on that, it's like you gotta know the words, you gotta know your part, you gotta know how you fit snug in that third slot. It's like, that's a lot.
Yeah, and you gotta be. I strive for perfection. I mean, we all do. But it's people don't realize it. You know, especially on bass and drums, you're the reason people are dancing, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a special role, and it's important to be so on it. You have to be the authority of the structure of the notes. I mean, everything, the energy, and it's a fun role to play. I love it.
I love that you pointed that out, because like you're informing the people of how to involve themselves in the music, and people are so afraid to be involved in things where someone else is recording behind them. You know, like the thousand things that make us self-conscious, in addition to the ever-abiding internet and the way that we worry that the world's going to see us and think something of us. You are trying to inform them of how to be a part of the living, breathing song right here, right now. And if you can get them to forget about the internet and the public scene that they're in and the guy behind them that's sweating his ass off and smells like that, you know, it's like just to be in the music, that's weirdly transcendent. It's a lot to ask, you know?
Yeah, and that just makes the stakes of flubbing that much higher, because people don't necessarily, you know, I miss notes all the time. I'll be the first one to tell you. But I've gotten good at hiding them because people don't hear a missed note as quickly as they feel something off. You know, like if I make a mistake, you know, it's not like, oh, the bass player made a mistake. It's, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And that's way worse.
Yeah.
That is way worse.
Yeah, it's like biting into a burger and being like, what am I chewing on?
Yeah.
It's a finger and you're at Wendy's. Do you remember that?
Oh, God. Yeah, so I try to keep my chili fingerless.
Dude, it's super judgy of you.
Yeah, maybe, you know, if you like fingers in your Wendy's chili, then like go to like some freeform jazz show.
Damn straight, Skipper. That's a bag. that's a bag and a half. What was your favorite city just to roam in? Did you get much time to kind of venture out and get weird?
Oh yeah, a little too much.
Oh yeah.
Mostly in Europe. The States, it's a little harder because we're just going a lot faster. And Jess, or TM, she's just such a beast, man. She's so good at finding us good spots to stay. And we do the Airbnb thing everywhere, unless we like have to do a hotel, but it's rare.
Yeah.
But
why? So you can cook for yourselves and kind of have that privacy, or like feels like a home? Like, what do you prefer?
Well, one, it's more cost effective to just get an Airbnb it's usually 7 of us. And it feels homey. They travel with their dog Gadget too, which is nice. I had my dog Boogie on the road in the spring, and they were the best of friends.
Boogie's a great name for a dog.
Thank
Crush
you.
That, yeah.
But yeah, you know, we can get up and have our coffee in the morning. We can sit and read. We can work out. You know, we can watch TV, and we're just all together. Sometimes we rehearse, that's honestly probably one of the best parts. And we rehearse a lot on the road, and it's, I love it. I absolutely love it. And people always say, oh, what? Who was I talking to? They were like dogging me. Oh, it was one of our guy from New Jersey, and he's like, what, you guys still rehearse? It's like, yeah. You don't? And I get it, but if you're playing the same show every night, you don't have to. But we're constantly learning new songs that Nolan wrote. He's like, yeah, I really like this one, let's try to do this live. Okay, let's get in the living room, set up, and we'll run through it and work it out. Our new covers, It's so much fun to just throw new stuff into the set, and you know, and sometimes, talking about keeping us on our toes, sometimes Nolan will just start a song in the wrong key, and we're just like, okay, you heard that too. All right, I guess we're
Half step one way or the other.
on the fly.
Dangerous.
Sorry, I'm getting so off track from your question.
I have no idea what the question was either. No worries.
What's their favorite place? What was my favorite place to bop around? We had so much more time in Europe to just explore. And
do you like navigating in a place where you can't speak the language?
Depends.
Okay. Sometimes it's romantic. Sometimes it's just uncomfortable. A lot of eye contact.
Yeah. Germany was a little tough, but I did have a really good friend of mine. She came out to the show in Germany, and we all went out after, so she helped.
That's awesome.
Let me think. Honestly, it was Amsterdam was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents being there, and we were just kind of strolling around, and I mean, I don't think we passed a pub and didn't stop for at least one. And then the town we actually played in is called The Hague. It's like 40 minutes west of Amsterdam, and it's like a baby Amsterdam. And it's way cleaner, way less bikes.
Yeah.
They're gonna
goddamn bikers
murder you, dude. I mean, you take one wrong step and you're a pancake.
Dude, that's hilarious.
It's scary.
It just looks like the Tour de France out here, where like they have the pileups,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Europe tour felt like a vacation.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
versus the American side of it was like, we're working.
Yes.
Okay.
And at the end of the Europe tour, it was nice to get back and like work. Because we were partying way too hard. It was like bad.
Yeah. Are you sleeping on a bus during any of those dates, or is that just mainly the States?
No, we got a van.
Okay.
We flew around Europe.
That makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the States, to be vanning it, dude, while you're hungover or anything like that, it's like, that is merciless.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm infamously, in the band anyway, anti-bus. I think it's a huge waste of money, and Nolan, if you're listening, he doesn't care. He's like, he always dogs on me for not wanting a bus, and it's like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why. I mean, unless you're playing every single night in different cities, which I guess we were. But
if you need to overnight travel, it's a game changer. If you don't, if you can logistically get around that, there's a lot less points of failure in a van, where it's like a van can get work done damn near anywhere. A bus, we're flying a guy out. It's like, that's going to be a little bit messy.
Yeah, actually. The Chevy Express, the old van.
She dying?
She died.
She
dead. She dead and gone.
Okay, how many miles you get to?
I think like 300,000.
All right.
350. As soon as we crossed the border in Canada, we were going to, I don't remember, somewhere up there, and the transmission went out. And so some guy came and towed it. I mean, I remember we were in our Airbnb. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, probably earlier than that, actually. I hear banging on my door. DK, I need you up. I mean, less than 30 seconds, I'm dead asleep. And then 30 seconds later, I'm pushing a van in the driveway.
Pushing it to the tow truck? Like what?
Pushing it to get it in a position that would be easier for the tow truck to get it.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah, so then we rented trucks, but we had a trailer. Only one of the trucks could tow the trailer, but
they don't tell you about rentals, where it's like, if you want to tow with a rental, they'll triple the cost on you, dude. Like, they don't want that risk.
And then only one of them was like cool to go across the border. I mean, it was like every bad thing that could have happened. It was just the worst scenario, and they left it up there. That was a bad day.
A sad one.
Yeah, it was tough. But then he got this brand new Transit it's
tight,
less comfy, but it's way nicer.
Yeah, the Transits are good. That or a spinner will always do you right. It's nice to have the ceiling capacity to stand up in there. It's like, we roll in my Suburban for the most part. New transmission, but she's getting up to 3. So I worry about her life, you know. And also, I used to have 2 working DVD players. I now have no working DVD player. So we
Okay.
can't game back there. It's like, fuck, man. Like, we gotta step our game up. Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Dude, I had a Switch set up. I was balling out of control. I'd have bandmates screaming at each other in the background. That kept me behind the wheel, man. It kept me tense. It was tight, you know. Did you kill your time mainly just reading on the road?
On the road, it was a lot of sleeping.
Okay.
If I'm being
Can you
honest.
sleep in a car that well?
Yeah, I can sleep anywhere.
Dude, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of music. You know, we're in there showing each other new stuff, and you know, I did read. I kind of just sat there.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it.
Not a bad option, man.
Yeah.
Well, as we start to wrap this up, is there anything that you'd like to promote? Anything that you'd like to get out there?
You know, I mean, if there's anyone that needs a bass player or a drummer, I'm home. I'm in Cincinnati. I'm like really excited to get back into the Cincinnati music scene where I was born and raised, and I love it so much. I love all the talented peers that I have here. And yeah, I'm just excited to play.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you feeling happy at this point in life?
I'm very happy. And you know, I was talking to somebody, actually Michael, out in Phoenix when we were there playing. He's like, "So how is it?" You know, I'm like, you know, this year has been the first year in my life where I wake up so excited. You know, I remember, you know, I was working full time. I have an engineering degree, so I was working at Intel, and any job really for that matter, or school, or, you know, as soon as I open my eyes, this feeling of dread comes over me, and it just became normal, and like I haven't had that feeling at all since I've been on the road, and it's like, you know, it's just a testament to, you know, what you can do for yourself. And I didn't realize it until this year. And whether it's touring in a band or whatever it is that I choose to do for the rest of my life, I want to carry that feeling of being excited to get out of bed.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I've always heard that you know, happiness is not the aim. Happiness is the byproduct of doing the thing that you're called to do. You know, and you went from having a career to getting back to your calling, and it feels like the thing that people aspire to. So another reminder for folks to get off your ass and answer the call of the thing that's screaming at you in the back of your head, because life is way too short for you to be assuming that you got things figured out, man. And I commend you for being out here, figuring it out, and kicking some serious ass while you do it.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, DK.
Thanks for having me.
Bass players.